Good afternoon and welcome to Metro Malayalam Talk Show. Today we are having a coffee catch-up with Honorable Federal Minister for Communication, Michelle Rowland at Vijay and Angel's house here at Boxall. Minister Rowland, welcome to Metro Malayalam Talk Show.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today.
Pleasure.
As a Federal Minister for Communication, can you tell us about your journey into politics and what inspired you to take the particular portfolio as communications?
Sure. I'd always been interested in public policy when I was at school and debating, but it wasn't really until I went to university that I started getting involved in a few political issues. And it was a lot of luck, really, and a lot of really being at the right place at the right time for a few things. I ended up being on Blacktown Council, becoming Deputy Mayor, and then the opportunity came up to run for the federal seat of Greenway in 2010. So I put my hand up for that, and I've been doing that job ever since. But certainly in terms of being a minister now, I spent my working life as a lawyer in the communications field. So I was doing a lot of IT, media, sort of telco regulation, competition law, which became my area of passion. And I did a lot of work in developing countries for different donor agencies, and I realised that technology was really the transformational quality that could make people's lives better in whatever way. And I think that holds true still for Australia. So I feel very passionate about the area. In particular, there are so many threats and online harms at the moment that are impacting on children, and around the world governments and regulators are grappling with this, and we're taking some really ambitious steps forward. It's hard. You've got half of the experts saying you're getting it wrong and the other half saying you're getting it right, but you've got every parent in Australia saying, please do something. So I'm at a time when there's a lot of challenges, but at the same stage, we're really coming to a good place in terms of the national broadband network getting built, getting more fibre deeper into the network, getting a lot of delivery in new spectrum and better mobile services. So it's one of those portfolios that's always dynamic, and I think that's why I love it.
Great. Yeah. So how do you find that, especially these kind of social media policies, so you'll be like, dealing with giants like, they have a population more than, their membership is like more than a country's population, right? So how easy to, deal with them in regards to the policies and stuff?
That is a really good question. And you're right, some of these companies, they've got revenues that are bigger than countries and very deep pockets. They're often very litigious. But in Australia, the rule of law is paramount. And if you're a company wanting to do business in Australia, we will assert our sovereignty. I must say that by and large, the platforms do abide by Australian law. But they do challenge a lot of law as well. But a lot of Australian companies challenge Australian law at the same time. And I think governments and regulators should welcome challenges because it helps for the courts to clarify law, for changes to be made if necessary. But I think the most important thing is that for too long, these social media platforms have been left in a space where we've been enjoying the fruits, and we can all, I think, appreciate that it has made us more connected. We're onto our second generation of digital natives, and at the same time there are harms that come with that too, and we're only really now starting to get proper empirical study of what those harms look like, and people are concerned. I'm concerned as a parent of two young daughters, and the other option is to do nothing, and in my mind that's simply not an option.
All right. Given your long-standing career in the communication portfolio, what is your long-term vision for Australia's communication sector over the next decade?
I'm really glad you asked that, actually, because my ambition is for Australia to be the most connected continent on Earth. We benefit from a broadcasting sector that is stable, free and ubiquitous. Radio and TV is available everywhere in Australia. We have two public broadcasters. But at the same time, their business model has been really challenged by over-the-top providers and by the digital platforms. So their ability to generate revenue is under great stress. But I do believe in the broadcasting platform. I also believe in a strong, well-governed internet, and I believe Australians should have choice. They should have affordable services. Underlying all that is making sure we've got the access to the best mobile connectivity. We rely on our devices more than ever before, and Australians have always been really early adopters. So we're about to have the 3G switchover to 4G and 5G, and that's been on the cards for many, many years. There's a little time to go before that happens. But again, that's about utilising our spectrum to make sure we've got the best quality mobile services. We want to have the best broadband services, which is why we're investing in the NBN. I recently put a bill into the Parliament to say that the NBN won't be sold, keep it in public ownership. We saw what happened when our national carrier Telstra was put into privatisation. The regions and people who couldn't afford or couldn't access broadband simply missed out, and we were left as a broadband backwater compared to developments happening in South Asia and everywhere else in the world. We can't let that happen again. We know that when privatisation occurs, service quality goes down and prices go up. And at a time when Australians are under great stress, inflation is moderating but not as fast as we would like. The key is to make sure that Australians have affordable services and also that they're getting what they pay for. And I think that's really important.
Yep. Community media plays a vital role in giving a voice of the underrepresented groups. How is the government supporting community media platforms to ensure they continue to thrive and serve multicultural and regional communities in Australia?
I'm a passionate advocate of community broadcasting, community media in all its forms. And when we came to government, we bestowed an additional $20 million grant to community broadcasting. There's hundreds of community broadcasters right around Australia who are serving really important purposes, be they niche, be they local. The volunteers and staff of those organisations reach millions of people every week, and it is really doing what I call the heavy lifting when it comes to media diversity. Australia has one of the most concentrated ownerships of media markets in the world, and it's community media that is really providing diversity, both in the regions but also in terms of specific cohorts, be they ethnicity, faith-based, or geographically based. So they're doing a great job. Unfortunately, we only have, in terms of community broadcasters who are still on television, there are only 2 left in Australia, in Melbourne and Adelaide, because of so many years of uncertainty. But again, we passed laws earlier this year to say that that spectrum being occupied by the community television broadcasters would stay with them until an alternative use was found for that spectrum. So that is giving them some certainty. And I was recently in Adelaide and visited Channel 44. Their thriving community broadcasting really serves also as a training ground for so many young people who want to get skilled up, so many students. But again, the passion that people have for community broadcasting is something I don't see in any other part of the sector. So I feel very passionate as a result.
Great. So I know that you have a busy schedule, ahead, and thank you so much for your time this afternoon with us. Now let's just go and have a interaction with our community members. They're just in box. They're just waiting for to talk to you.
I look forward to it. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now let's meet today's host, Angel and Vijay, to hear from them. Hi, Vijay and Angel.
Hi, Kiran. It was a great afternoon, and it was a great pleasure meeting Honorable Minister Michelle Rowland today at our place of residence. Lot of important issues pertaining around our local area was discussed today, and those people who attended today, they all felt that it was useful. It was such a useful community discussion that they had. And Michelle being such an action-oriented minister, now people are having good confidence that these issues will be addressed in the near future because she's known for taking actions rather than rather than just listening to. And I think they all felt that the messages, whatever the community told Michelle, they were all well received. And thank you, Metro Malayalam, for giving us such an opportunity to address an issue with Honorable Minister. I think Metro Malayalam should be getting good credit if any of such important issues, one of such important issues, gets implemented here, and credit should Metro Malayalam also should be getting credit for this one. So that's what I will say to them. Thank you.
Thank you.